Adrielle Sigler, better known online as Veganries, isn't just another TikTok mom. She's the kind of creator whose name pops up so often in messy internet drama, you almost assume she's trolling on purpose. But nope, this is all real. From public meltdown at stores to doxing teenagers, lawsuits, GoFundMe controversies, family feuds, and even disturbing allegations, Adrielle's story is a rabbit hole you don't just peek into, you fall straight down. And today, we're diving all the way in. It all started when Adrielle's content caught attention for all the wrong reasons, and the infamous TJ Maxx incident is where the spiral truly began. One clip in particular exploded. She's shopping with her kids, filming a typical mom haul TikTok, until an employee politely asks her to stop recording inside the store. Seems simple enough, right? Not for Adrielle. She immediately pushes back, urging that the employee's face is invisible, so there is no problem. The employee calmly explains her voice is in the video, and she doesn't consent to being recorded. It should have ended there, but Adrielle's ego wouldn't allow it. Instead of respecting the request, she doubles down. She keeps filming, saying she has every right to document her shopping experience. Then she storms out dramatically, declaring she'll never shop here again, vowing to cancel TJ Maxx and loudly announcing she'll stick to Amazon and TikTok shops instead. But it doesn't stop there. Outside the store, she turns to her kids, still recording, and asks if she could go back inside to demand the employee's name so she can report her to corporate. Her kids, clearly embarrassed, mumble that it is unnecessary. One even looks away, visibly uncomfortable, but Adrielle ignores them, grabs her phone tighter, and marches back inside anyway, filming the entire confrontation. She approaches the employee again, corners her, and asks her for her name on camera. The employee, keeping her composure, gives the name calmly but firmly reminds Adrielle of her right to privacy. Instead of de-escalating, Adrielle immediately uploads a series of videos portraying herself as the victim, claiming she was harassed while just trying to promote TJ Maxx and accusing locals of working against her out of jealousy.
Use the credit card today. Okay, so that means you go ahead. That means you get dibs next time. Slow, it's a Sunday. But it's beautiful outside though, that's probably why. Just put everything on the shelf. I got some cool stuff. A speaker, some makeup stuff.
Because we don't feel comfortable with it being recorded in here.
I can't record in here?
No.
I'm not recording you.
I know, but just for like the safety, just in case like my voice isn't.
I do TJ Maxx hauls.
I know, but just in case like they can hear my voice, people's voices. Yeah.
We're not gonna buy anything.
Okay.
And I'm gonna post this to social media. All right. Oh my God. Doing a TJ Maxx haul. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. This, I swear to God, only in this town. I'm doing a TJ Maxx haul. Wow. I can't even do a TJ Maxx haul with my kids without people in this small town. Like, that's terrible. This is advertising. Wow. Hey guys, we'll just order some stuff on my TikTok shop and Amazon. Sorry, babe. How do you guys feel about that?
I kind of like these people.
Should I go back and get her name and complain to the district manager? That was not a good way to treat a customer.
She even claims in follow-up TikToks that her small-town community has it out for her, painting a narrative where everyone, from cashiers to neighbors, is trying to sabotage her success. She makes teary-eyed follow-up clips about her being targeted, suggesting she's unsafe in her own town. She goes on to rally her followers, telling them she's being bullied by jealous locals and implying she may need to take legal action. This wasn't just about a store policy anymore. Adrielle turned a simple request into a personal vendetta and a series of content acts. Commentary creators quickly pick up the incident, stitching her clips with pointed critics. Many note how uncomfortable her children looked being dragged into the drama for views. Others highlight the disproportionate response, a polite request morphing into a multi-video saga about harassment and small-town conspiracy.
They'll take advantage as long as they can get away with it. Just like the people I live stream with. They'll take advantage of me as long as they can get away with it. All day long, other people make thousands of dollars off of me because they can get away with it. All day long, people cyberbully and harass me because they can get away with it. All day long, I suffer and struggle in live stream to make a living for my children, to give them what they need, and my kids just have a great, happy old life, doing whatever they want, have a free ride, and they don't do anything around the house to help out because they get away with it.
Viewers immediately recognize a pattern forming. Adrielle weaponizes minor inconveniences, escalates them publicly, drags her kids through embarrassing situations, and reframes herself as a victim, all for the sake of content, sympathy, and attention. This wasn't an isolated meltdown. Everywhere Adrielle goes, it's Adrielle versus the world. Take the Crown Street roasting company drama. Adrielle made this coffee shop her regular filming spot, turning it into her personal TikTok set. For months, she recorded coffee hauls, story times, and even full-on live streams from her usual table. But one day, the owners approached her directly and politely asked her to stop recording. Not because they hated influencers, but because customers had complained repeatedly about the noise and disruption. People were there to work, read, or relax quietly. But Adrielle's constant filming, loud commentary, and on-camera rants were dominating the space. For most people, this would have ended as a quiet, private conversation, maybe an inconvenience. For Adrielle, it became a full-blown war. She blasted the owners online, naming them publicly, doxing the cafe, and instructing her followers to leave 1-star Google reviews to teach them a lesson. She accused the owners of being jealous of her TikTok success and trying to sabotage her. She claimed she was singled out and painted herself as a victim of small-town hostility.
Hey, coffee shop. I'll tell you what. You know my mailing address. Write me a letter of apology with a gift card, and I'll consider dropping it. You have until January 7th to make your decision. If I don't receive anything in the mail by Wednesday, January 10th, I will drive to Buffalo, New York, Thursday, January 11th, with a chunk of cash, and I will pay my attorney her retainer fee. You're lucky it's almost Christmas. Consider this my gift to you. Your gift card could be 5 cents. You know what? I have rewards with your coffee shop, by the way. It's the principle. And the only other reason I'm doing this is because now I see that email. This email was sent to you by a TikTok troll. This wasn't a real customer of yours. You got punked. I get punked all the time by TikTok trolls. Consider this an episode of Punked. They trick people, they suck, that's the way it is. And maybe you don't have experience with online trolling. Nonetheless, gift card, apology letter, and it's over. And the permission to be treated equally as all other customers who are allowed to open their cameras. By the way, I still have rewards with your coffee shop. There's a free drink on there, if not 3. Bye!
But viewers quickly fact-checked her story using her own content. In one video filmed inside the cafe, she's talking loudly into the camera, explaining her entire day while ignoring the quiet, library-like vibe around her. In another clip, she's literally dancing in the middle of the shop, captioning, "No one's around," while other customers are clearly visible in the background. The contradictions piled up. In her final video from the cafe, she insisted she was always quiet and never disturbed anyone, but followers pointed out background chatter, loud FaceTime calls, and even her habit of filming multiple takes while other patrons were working. Then came the escalation. Adrielle filed 2 lawsuits against the owners, accusing them of discrimination. Her argument: if businessmen can have their cameras on while they work, why can't businesswomen? She framed it as a gender equality fight. But viewers dug deeper and discovered there was no filming agreement, no signed release, no contract. The owners had every legal right to set filming boundaries in a privately owned business, and other influencers who had partnered with cafes confirmed Adrielle had skipped this critical step. And yet, Adrielle refused to drop it. She made dozens of follow-up TikToks, rehashing the incident from every single angle, replaying old footage and calling for boycotts, while her critics pointed out a recurring pattern. Wherever Adrielle goes, chaos follows, and she always makes sure the cameras are rolling. Then things spiral further. Adrielle takes the drama to the next level and offers the cafe a shady deal. She demands a public apology and free coffee's gift cards as compensation, or she'll drag them into court. She even drafts a proposed apology later, instructing them to admit they singled her out and humiliated her publicly. The cafe refuses. Instead of backing down, Adrielle ramps up the pressure on her followers to flood the cafe's Google page with negative reviews and bombard their social media account. But this backfires spectacularly. Viewers start digging deeper and realize her claims don't add up. People begin rallying behind the cafe instead, leaving positive reviews, boosting the business's social platforms, and calling Adrielle out for weaponizing her audience. This is the point where the wider public starts piecing together a bigger picture. Adrielle isn't just unlucky or misunderstood. She's the common denominator in all of these conflicts, and it is becoming impossible to ignore. Then, another scandal hits, this one involving her son. Adrielle goes live in tears, claiming her teenage son was jumped by a group of boys and nearly unalived. She films every moment, even the frantic drive to find them, and later posts graphic images of his injuries.
So this is Adrielle Sigler, aka Vegan Riz. She is a very large creator on this app with almost 1 million followers. She is a stay-at-home mom, so all of her income comes from social media. There is a lot of things that have happened with Adrielle Sigler in her time here on social media, but most recently, what people are so outraged about is that back in May, Adrielle's teenage son got into a fight, and she posted a series of videos about this fight. She then created a $30,000 GoFundMe, insisting that their lives were in danger and that they needed to move immediately. So Adrielle posted a very short edited clip of this fight, stating that her son got jumped and almost lost his life. She painted a picture as if her son was just walking home from school one day and a group of kids invited him to go eat somewhere and that they randomly jumped him. She then proceeded to share all of these children that were involved in the fights, faces, first and last names, and where one of them lived. These videos went very viral, so the family members started speaking out, and they alleged that the reason that the fight happened in the first place is because Adrielle's son, the girl from the video. We know this because that girl's older sister, Melanie, here on TikTok, started speaking out about this. So now
these videos blow up instantly, pulling in hundreds of thousands of views and waves of sympathy. Comments pouring, prayers flood the chart, and within hours, donations begin stacking up on her newly launched $30,000 GoFundMe. Adrielle claims they have to move immediately for safety and leans heavily on her audience's emotions, crying on camera while pleading for financial help. But soon, another side of the story surfaces, and it changes everything. Parents of the accused boys come forward, releasing a completely different version of events. According to them, Adrielle's son allegedly sexually assaulted one of their sisters. The meetup wasn't random. It was planned so the boys could confront him. They say her son agreed to meet, but when they arrived, he allegedly threw the first punch, triggering the fight. From their perspective, the beating wasn't an unprovoked attack. It was retaliation. Adrielle leaves this entirely out of her videos, framing her son as innocent, as a victim instead. Then she escalates further, doxing the minors she accuses by posting their full names, photos, and even the schools they attend. This crosses a serious line. Families of the boys push back publicly, defending their children and warning Adrielle to stop spreading misinformation.
Yes, however, that proved to be not true. This is Adrielle Sigler, and recently she posted a video that went viral of her son being jumped by a group of other students. However, she edited the video and didn't include the beginning of the clip where he threw the first punch and actually agreed to come to this fight. There are also new claims and allegations that the reason the fight happened in the first place is because, well, her son's allegedly not so innocent. She also created a $30,000 GoFundMe because she insists that they are in danger and that they need to move immediately. I don't know how she's still on this app, to be quite honest. In fact, there was another time where she went into a coffee shop and they didn't want her to film, so because of that, she started a bunch of drama and tried to bring legal action against them and claimed that they were sexist because she's an attractive female.
Mother of the Year award goes to Adrielle Sigler. One furious parent writes, "Enjoy your short-lived freedom." The situation spirals quickly. A sister of one alleged victim comes forward and claims Adrielle's son assaulted multiple girls. Screenshots of messages and statements from other parents begin circulating, corroborating key parts of the story. Receipts flood TikTok, commentary creators pick up the case, and the narrative flips almost overnight. By this point, sympathy for Adrielle evaporates entirely. What started as a rally of support for a mother's injured son becomes one of her most damaging scandals to date. But Adrielle wasn't finished. not by a long shot. As conflicting accounts about her son's alleged attacks spread across TikTok, she doubled down and continued creating a steady stream of content about the situation. Video after video appeared, edited and narrated to keep herself at the center of the story, not just recounting events, but framing them to highlight her role as the distressed and wronged single mom. She told followers she had no choice but to keep posting because it was her real life, even as she recorded phone calls, wept on camera, and staged reenactments. Viewers quickly spotted inconsistencies. Just days earlier, she had admitted to spending $1,700 in a single month so her children would never settle for the bare minimum. That boast clashed with her urgent pleas for donation. Her live streams fueled skepticism. In one, she described how her son was nearly unalived, while at the same time promoting her TikTok shop and urging viewers to follow her backup account.
I'll be heavily moderating the chat today. I am just sick to my stomach. I don't know what my problem is. I think it's a lack of self-care, a lack of exercise, and financial stress. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, I think it's all three. I don't have time for self-care. I'm constantly meeting the demands of others. There's always loud crashes, screams, bangings. If I leave the house, my phone's always going off, and I don't have a life of my own. I feel like my entire needs are just stripped until further notice. You know what I mean? I'm just struggling so bad mentally today. I don't know what my problem is. In me to exercise right now, and you're banned. I have something mental going on in my brain that's not letting me exercise, and I don't know what that is. I know for a fact if I start going to the gym every day, my phone's going to be blowing up. I'm going to get harassed by my children, and it's going to suck. That's the only way I can explain it. Or maybe they'll want to go with me, and they can go with me, but not every single day. I just need space, and I don't know where that space is because it used to be the gym, and now I don't know. I don't know how to take care of myself anymore. Well, all year round with more vacations that add up to 2 months. You know what I mean? Like where kids can take personal weeks. Like maybe, like wouldn't that make more sense if you actually sit back and think about it? If you actually sit back and think about if kids could manipulate or choose their vacation time and learn about that instead of having 2 months off straight and there's nothing to do. Like, I don't know what to do.
For many, the timing felt exploitative. She also reposted the fight video, edited to cut the beginning where her son allegedly threw the first punch. What remained was the beating itself, now layered with captions and music, packaged as emotional content for clicks. Criticism grew. Observers accused her of twisting the story, omitting key details, and exploiting her son's injuries for sympathy and money. One comment summed it up. If you can spend $1,700 on extras, but then ask strangers for $30K to move, that is not safety, that is a scam. Former supporters pulled back. The narrative was no longer about protection or justice, but about personal tragedy being turned into content. The GoFundMe, which had raised around $4,000, sputtered as refund demands surfaced. News outlets picked up the controversy, and TikTok creators began tying this fundraiser to Adrielle's previous scandals. The fallout was clear. Trust eroded. Many now viewed the fundraiser as part of her ongoing cycle of manipulation. Yet, Adrielle pressed on, making sure her posts centered on her son's trauma. On one live, she cried about being unsafe, then later in the same stream, boasted again about her $1,700 spending. The fundraiser remained stalled. Refunds increased and backlash widened. Soon, commentary creators like Austin Foreman and AFF General joined in, and the rabbit hole only deepened.
Oh shit, it's gone. My GoFundMe got removed. God damn it. You guys are such haters. Okay, here, let's log into my GoFundMe and submit an appeal. GoFundMe investigation is over and my GoFundMe is reinstated and we move and I take down the GoFundMe after we move. I am never using the website GoFundMe again because I literally don't like what happened. Like, I think it's like really rude.
Austin uncovers a disturbing trail of Reddit posts traced back to Adrielle's own IP address. The most shocking post reads, "What do you do when you have a crush on a student?" Viewers freeze. The replies under the thread are unsettling enough. Some brushing it off, others cautioning against it. But then, digging deeper, investigators discover that Adrielle herself had anonymously responded. In her reply, she minimizes the behavior, brushing it off as normal attraction, a remark that many interpret as an attempt to normalize predatory conduct.
So Adrielle Sigler is getting completely roasted by the AFF. If you don't know who the AFF is, I will tag Austin down below. It's basically a group of people that are now looking into Adrielle and exposing her. In their newest revelation, they proved that the Reddit post that Adrielle made several years ago, talking about how she was attracted to a student. This post right here that was posted by TikTok TMZ, she also proved that it was Adrielle a while ago, but Adrielle made a post on Reddit that said, "What do you do when you crush on a student?" Someone replied to her post and said, "I wouldn't consider that normal attraction. You're 26 and he's a 13-year-old boy. That is your student. You say it's nothing sexual, but he gives you a feeling that you want to make out or something. That is sexual. It sounds like you are trying to normalize a situation that is not normal." So Austin Foreman and one of his friends traced the IP address. And what do you know? Adrielle Sigler. So this is why we have been saying that it's concerning that Adrielle's content appears to target a younger demographic. The words that she uses in her videos, the stupid dances that she does. That's not adult content. That is targeted towards a younger audience.
This revelation doesn't stand in isolation. Viewers immediately connect it back to her past employment as a special education aide in a local school district, a position she had quietly resigned from with no clear explanation ever provided. Whispers of misconduct had flooded before, but now these posts reignite those suspicions. Allegations resurfaced that she was sending inappropriate, flirtatious, or suggestive messages to underage students she interacted with in that role, and that complaints may have pressured her exit. Soon, commentary creators begin dropping receipts, screenshots of the Reddit posts, archived threats, alleged direct messages, and even testimonies from community members start to circulate widely. Each new piece of evidence points a darker picture, connecting her questionable online activity with her online history in schools. What might once have been dismissed as trolling, rumor, or taken out of context now feels damning when set against her unexplained resignation. The effect on her reputation is catastrophic. Followers who once defended her begin unfollowing in droves. Longtime supporters post that they feel betrayed. Commentary creators call for accountability, some demanding investigations into her past employment. TikTok jurors frame this as the most serious stain yet on her already chaotic record. Adrielle's reputation doesn't just take a hit, it collapses under the weight of these allegations, leaving little room for defense. Even as everything unfolds, Adrielle keeps live streaming, refusing to stay back, even when her children become visibly distressed. The camera remains rolling not only during routine moments, but also during some of the most intimate and volatile family interactions. In one widely shared live, her youngest daughter breaks down on camera, screaming through tears, "You called me a liar!" Adrielle leans in and whispers back, denying it. But critically, she does not end the live. The full meltdown, raw and painful, stays online for thousands to witness. Viewers flood the comments, calling it exploitative and questioning why a mother would keep broadcasting instead of comforting her child privately. The video is clipped, reposted, and analyzed by commentary accounts, turning a child's distress into a viral folder. In another incident, her daughter is heard calling her father, voice trembling, begging to be picked up after Adrielle allegedly sent her to the pool alone. Adrielle later goes public denying the version of events, but the live audio evidence directly contradicts her, undermining her credibility yet again. Creators replay the clip and highlight the contradiction, fueling even more criticism. There are more moments like these, children crying in the background while Adrielle continues narrating to her audience, arguments between siblings left uncut, and family tension laid bare for clicks. Even late-night lives sometimes feature her kids wandering into frame, upset or exhausted, only for Adrielle to push forward with her monologue. Each one reinforcing a troubling pattern. The children's pain and conflicts are turned into content, broadcast without filter, replayed endlessly across TikTok, and monetized through gifts and shop links. These patterns, kids crying, fights on stream, and deeply personal family trauma aired for strangers, become not just occasional mishaps, but a central feature of Adrielle's online brand. For many viewers, this crosses the line from questionable parenting to outright exploitation. Then Adrielle pivots again, this time turning her focus inward toward her own family. She uploads lengthy TikToks and multi-part live streams accusing relatives of years of physical and emotional abuse. She labels them toxic, narcissistic, and alleges they have covered up instances of grooming within this family cycle. In these rants, she often names specific family members, hints at hidden secrets, and promises explosive revelations that never fully arrive. She repeats vows to expose them, sometimes drags out old family disputes as fresh evidence. But instead of gaining sympathy, much of her audience begins to tune out. Viewers note that this is the same pattern they've seen before, first with neighbors, then with businesses, then with her children's peers, and now her own relatives. The endless cycle of feuds has become predictable. Many question whether her allegations are genuine cries of trauma or simply another chapter manufactured for drama and attention. Some commenters call it deflection, suggesting she uses these accusations to shift focus whenever another controversy hits up. Others dismiss it as pure performance designed to keep her narrative alive and her followers watching. By this stage, even those who once defended her admit they no longer take her claims at face value. TikTok eventually bans her main account, citing repeated policy violations and mounting reports from viewers. Almost immediately, Adrielle pivots to her backup profiles. She quickly buys followers to push each page over the 1K threshold, a milestone required to restart TikTok lives and keep monetization open. She announces triumphantly that she's back and even teases new exclusive content to win back her audience. But the environment isn't the same anymore. The audience has changed, trust is gone, and skepticism is now the default. Every new upload is met with mass backlash in the comments, with viewers dissecting her words, flagging inconsistencies, and accusing her of manipulating the system. Instead of donations and gifts, comment sections fill with demands for accountability and reminders of her past controversies. Clips from her new lives are quickly reposted by commentary creators who analyze her every statement, ensuring that her attempts at a comeback only fuel further scrutiny. What once brought sympathy now brings ridicule, and her backup accounts become a mirror of her declining credibility rather than a fresh start. From TJ Maxx meltdowns to lawsuits, GoFundMes, doxing minors, family drama, disturbing past allegations, and endless live stream spectacles, Adrielle Sigler's story is a whirlwind of chaos. She has broadcasted in real time for years. Her digital footprint isn't a highlight reel, it is a case file, filled with patterns of escalation, contradictions, and cries for sympathy that collide with controversy. And yet, she keeps filming, determined to stay on camera no matter how toxic the fallout becomes. So, jury of TikTok, what is the verdict? Is Adrielle a misunderstood mom fighting uphill battles against a world set against her, or a creator deliberately weaponizing victimhood to keep herself relevant in the algorithm's courtroom? Drop your ruling in the comments below. Guilty, innocent, or somewhere in between.